Hi guys, so I've just finished painting these awesome retro looking orcs for a hero quest, and yeah, absolutely love these guys, love how they've come out. Do love the old look of the orcs, so not exactly scary, but certainly fun and comical looking. Now I just need to print another, well, a good dozen or more, and the great thing is where I got these from, yeah, there are a whole variety of poses, weapons and all the rest of it, so yeah, I can get 12 orcs all looking different. So I got these chaps over on my mini factory, and it's a guy called Monstrous Encounters. Well, I say a guy, could be a girl, could be both. And yeah, as you can see, lovely, awesome looking figures. Say loads of different poses, outfits, and yeah, weapons of your choice. And they just look great. So stick around and I'll show you how I printed these and painted these. So starting with the printing process, yeah, I've got a lovely new printer here. And as you can see, one of the first things I love doing, yeah, peeling off all that protective film. So there's lovely people over at Phrozen are sponsoring this video, and as you can see, yeah, they've sent me this Sonic Mighty 8K. So it's not a new printer, but obviously, well, it is new to me. And with any new printer you get, there's a few things you have to do before you can actually sort of start using it. And obviously the first thing is, well, to get all those protective films off, and in most cases to level up the printers. Obviously this is easy to do, and it does come with full instructions on how to do it. And in this case, it's simply a case of loosening up the build plate. So as you can see, nice and wibbly wobbly. Pushing a couple of buttons, which then lowers it down. It then rests on the glass plate, and yeah, once it stops moving, we can then tighten the bolts up, and yeah, it's then good to go. So you only have to do this once, which is great. And then once it is leveled, yeah, you can just carry on and print and print and print. Again, it does come with a small instruction manual, and it's very easy to use the on-screen sort of prompts, which is great. And now it's all ready for us to print. So they've also sent me some Phrozen 8K resin, and I'll have to admit I don't think I've ever tried 8K resin before, and boy oh boy, it makes a big difference. Yeah, as you'll see in a moment, the end results from 8K resin as opposed to, well, normal resin, yeah, a lot more definition in the finished sort of print, which is just amazing. As I have tried loads of different resins over the past, well, few years, never really noticed much of a difference other than in its sort of bendiness or brittleness. But yeah, 8K resin is definitely a winner to getting really sharp and crisp detail in the miniatures. So as you can see, yeah, my setup, I don't have a lot of room, and the eagle-eyed about you may realise, well, how am I going to get the lid on and off this, as well, I've got a shelf right above it. Well, yeah, I've got a cunning plan here. I've cut my lid in half. Yeah, as I say, when I'm always saying I am short on room, guys, I am so short on room. I'm just a guy sitting at a desk. So this little setup I've got here is actually, it's in the hallway. There's a little nook in the hallway, and that's where I've got this little stand with my printer, some resin, and the wash and cure station. So because I can't lift the thing up and over, as I say, I've cut the lid in half, put a seal around it, so when it is together, it is a nice seal. And I also stuck some handles on the side. And the reason for this isn't to make it easier to get this lid on and off, although it does. It's more because if you've had a 3D printer in the past, you'll know just how dirty these lids get. And I don't like things dirty. So yeah, so these handles on the side are more to protect the screen so it doesn't get dirty. But again, it does help pull the thing off and on. And there we go, so there's my little setup. I love how it looks. I love how it is fitting in a very small area. As I've always found, the problem with a lot of printers is, yeah, when you have to lift the lid upwards, you need a lot of room around it. Anyway, enough of that, let's get back to the miniatures. Yes, I've taken them into the slicer software. As you can see, I'm using Box just because, well, this is the main one I've used for years. It's been improved over the time and works really well. So everything's on a little USB, plug that in, push a few buttons, and away it goes. So I do love the screen. It's a lovely big screen on this printer. Very intuitive, very easy to use. Yeah, just click a few buttons here and there, and off the thing goes to printing. And as this is the first time using this printer, I've left all the settings, well, as is, just because I want to make sure I get a lovely print coming out. And then once you get used to a printer, you can sort of mess about, adjust the settings, try to get it a bit faster. But say for me, yeah, I'm happy just leaving this as is, just because I want to, well, see how the prints come out first time. So every now and then I went back and just checked on how it was going, and obviously it tells you the percentage, how long it's got left, and it shows you each layer as it's been printed, which is pretty cool. As you can probably see from the top sort of left of the screen, you can actually name your printer as well. Unfortunately, when I named it Miniature Hobbyist, Yeah, I think I went up 2 letters over, as I'm now called Miniature Hobby-ish. But yeah, guys, there's a link down below to where obviously you can check out more about the Phrozen printers. And if I ever get any discount codes, yeah, I'll be sure to leave them down there as well. And then 3 hours later, it's time to see how our first printers come out. And as I say, I love the fact I've cut this in half. It makes getting to the prints so much easier. There's enough room for me to get obviously the build plate off, as well as move the VAT tray if I needed to. And there we go. Yeah, so first print come out really well. Obviously these are still, well, covered in loads of resin, so these need to go into the wash and cure station just to sort of fully clean them and make it so I can actually touch them. So they've been in the wash station, and to make it easier to pull the things off the supports, yeah, I put them in some warm water. Not too hot, but obviously warm enough so it just sort of say it helps the supports come off nice and cleanly. And in most cases, yeah, they just fall off. But there you go, yeah, lovely definition. And I say, I have to admit, I was more than pleasantly surprised how well these have come out, and the fact the 8K Phrozen resin, yeah, definitely a game changer. As I say, for me, guys, don't forget, I am a noob when it comes to this sort of stuff. I don't know technical terms, I don't know much about what I'm doing, other than I'm enjoying what I'm doing. But yeah, the detail in these miniatures just seem so much fresher and crispier than, well, lots of the other resin I've used. So whether that is because it is the 8K resin or this printer, I'm not too sure. But all I know is, yeah, I'm in love with how they've come out. And now it's just time to glue the bits together and say, get them ready for some painting. And I'm often asked, what glue do I use? And to be honest, it's the cheapest. Yeah, sometimes I just go on Amazon and get whatever the cheapest glue is. But I did recently buy quite a lot of glue from Army Painter. So, well, that's kind of one that I'm using at the moment. But yeah, any glue will do. Obviously, they are super glues, but they do take a little while to dry. I don't have the activator, which I do need to get ready, because, say, sometimes it can take a good 10-20 seconds to dry. And there we go, 3, say, lovely looking Orcs. I mean, I love Orcs. I've loved Orcs for years. Normally I go for the more sort of like angry, aggressive looking ones, as opposed to the sort of, well, the fun, cute ones that these are. But yeah, absolutely love these. And as always, prime in black, and then do some dry brushing in white. And this is where it pulls through, and you can see all the lovely definition in these miniatures. So yeah, I'm going to leave a link obviously below to where I got the miniatures from as well. So go check that creator out. As I certainly do love the retro sort of style look of these miniatures. And again, yeah, these will be played in my Hero Quest games. I just need to print out, I reckon, at least another 8 should be fine. But say, because of the amount of different poses there are, they should all look different. And obviously the different weapon outlays as well. So yeah, dry brushing, obviously be careful not to knock the miniature way out of your hand. But yeah, these little guys, yeah, I can't say it enough. I'm in love with them. I just think they look absolutely awesome. So you'll have seen recently that I've been using a lot more of the Green Stuff World dipping ink paints. Again, it's because I like trying out sort of new things, especially when, say, the dipping inks, they are a lot cheaper than, well, any other sort of brand, whether it's the Army Painter or Citadel Contrast paints. Yeah, go check out the Green Stuff World ones, as the difference in price is quite a lot. So yeah, obviously I'm trying out some new greens as well. So this is a green I've never used, well, for Orcs before. And again, I think it really suits these guys, because it is quite a strong, vibrant green. Again, because these guys are more fun, whereas I normally go for quite a grim dark sort of look style to my my painting. But yeah, see, as these guys are a bit more fun looking. Yeah, I wanted to keep the colours a bit more sort of fun, a bit more vibrant. And yeah, so this green, yeah, it's perfect. It's a treat. So yeah, guys, again, everything I use, there's links down below. Some of the links are affiliate links, which basically means I get a few pennies if you use them. Doesn't cost you any more, which is great for you guys. I say great for me because I get a few pennies. Some of the links aren't affiliate links, they're just, well, they're just bog standard links. But again, I do get a lot of emails or comments, obviously asking what I use. So yeah, I'm always going to leave comments to everything I use, whether I get anything from it or not. Because obviously this hobby is all about sharing, and let people know what we do, where we get stuff from, just because obviously it's a nice hobby community, and we all gain from, well, learning from each other's experiences and sometimes mistakes, because I do make mistakes when I'm doing things, but as always I will leave any mistakes in. Although I think in this one everything went swimmingly. The printer worked perfectly, The paints work perfectly. I enjoyed everything. And yeah, there's some cinematic video coming up soon as well, guys, to sort of show these little dudes off in all their glory. So keep an eye out for that. And if you are new here and like what I do, yeah, it'd be great if you could hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, as I do produce a couple of videos every week just because, well, I love what I do. And if you have any comments, guys, about what you want to see me do in the future, again, by all means, leave them down below. As well, I like trying out new things, whether it's new paints, new techniques, new 3D printers, whatever it might be. I say this hobby is all about having fun, trying new things, and sharing, well, whatever we sort of learn from everything. So say everything's dried really well. Again, the green stuff dipping inks, yeah, awesome paints, dry really well. When you are first using them, the first thing I will say is they are a lot more, again, this is where I don't know the correct term, watered down, diluted. So yeah, when you first use them, be careful not to get too much paint on your brush, as these are very much wetter, waterier. But the good thing with that is they really do pool very nicely in all those recesses, nooks and crannies. And that's why I really love using these paints, as you really do get a very good contrast in the lighter areas to the darker areas. As you can see here, yeah, this is obviously still very wet, but just see just the difference in the light and dark areas. Obviously they don't have as big as range as some of the other companies yet, but I'm sure they will improve on that and make so many more paints. But again, sometimes though, I have some of the Army Painter ones, there's almost been too much choice. As in, I think the greens, I've got about 13 different greens with Army Painter. With the dipping inks, I think I've got 3. So yeah, sometimes it is easier because there's less choice. Obviously it'd be good if I can get the thing in focus there. But yeah, again, love how these all go on. And one thing I have noticed with the dipping inks, there's been no bad ones. With every other paint I've used, whether it's the contrast paints or speed paints, there's always been a couple of paints that I've thought, yeah, they're a bit bad, and then don't use them. And I always have my favourite ones to go to. Whereas yeah, the dipping ink ones, they all seem to work exactly the same, and work really well. And as you can see by the looks of him, say that purple's just come out perfectly. Yeah, really light in areas, really dark in other areas. If you guys have seen any retro Hero Quest miniatures at all, yeah, again, guys, let me know in the comments. As well, I want to try out printing, painting and playing with as many varieties of sort of miniatures as I can, just because it's nice to sort of vary everything. I do love all the miniatures that come with the Hero Quest box and all the additional quest packs, but yeah, obviously I do love printing my own, just because, well, I like to have something a bit different from everyone else, I guess. And obviously this does make it easier to put these on clearer bases. As you'll have seen from a lot of my recent videos, I do cut off bases from the Hero Quest miniatures and put them on clear bases. But obviously if I'm 3D printing, yeah, then I don't print them on the base, I just print the miniature as is, and then yeah, stick them on a lovely clear base towards the end of the video. So the one thing I don't have with the dipping inks, and that's any sort of metallic looking range. So for that, yeah, I'm just using, well, whatever kind of paints I've got to hand, and it just happens to be the air range. Again, I like using these ones because they are thinned down, which means you can still see, well, all the lovely sort of slapchop look underneath with the old priming black and dry brushing. So yeah, the air range from Army Painter, because it is thinned down, yeah, it works really, really well. Which is great with these little dudes, as yeah, there's quite a few sort of metallic looking bits. Obviously a little bit around the edge on the shield here, and then lots of sort of studs going around. Well, everything on him really, on his little wrist bits there, on his belt. I say I do love the look of these sculpts because they look kind of like they should be Romans. So maybe I should have done the belt red, just sort of. Well, no, the belt would have been brown, wouldn't it? The underneath should have been red, just give it that sort of Roman centurion look. Anyway, I'm waffling, but that's kind of why you're here partly. Yeah, again, I love these little figures. They are so cute. So yeah, I will be printing off loads more. Probably won't do a video with the other ones. Or will I? I'm not sure. Because I definitely want to start making some more little dioramas as well for these guys. So as you will see coming up a bit later, there is a small little diorama that I can take for single sort of miniatures. But yeah, I want to work on a few sort of larger dioramas that I can do some nice fun shots with for, well, more than one miniature at a time. So yeah, the last kind of couple of things to sort of paint on these guys, that's just to bring their teeth up. Not going to get too much on there because, well, I'm sure these guys don't really take that much care of their teeth. So just a little bit here and there. And then I did also go around and do their little fingernails, yeah, with a little bit of white. So just to try and make their lips and their ears a little bit different, because I've seen a lot of people do this. So I've got a little bit of orange I'm going to use here, just to sort of make a bit of variation in the colour of their lips and say their ears. And it's one of these little things you don't have to put much on, just to make it a little bit different. I've only just started recently doing this because I've seen, like you guys, I watch a lot of other YouTubers doing painting tutorials or all kinds of painting and things, just to obviously get some tips and tricks from them. And yeah, just subtly changing the colour of the lips and the ears just really sort of makes these guys look a bit more, well, I can't really say natural because I've never ever seen an orc in real life, and well, I don't know if I want to be honest. And there we go, that's the first 3 orcs done of, well, a little army that I will eventually be painting, and yeah, absolutely love these guys. So the very last thing to do, and that's to stick them on a nice clear base. So I get mine from Fluid 3D Workshop, a whole variety of sizes, shapes and thicknesses. So I go for their smallest or thinnest one, which is a good old 1mm. Just to say, I love to be able to see whatever terrain is meant to be under these guys. And then yeah, there we go, there's all 3 done. Let's see a few glamour shots of these bad boys. And there we go, I am so pleased with how these came out. Yeah, I love absolutely everything about them. The sculpts just look fantastic, so the definition is awesome. Yeah, love how they've come out with a paint job, and yeah, I can't say any more than that. I absolutely love these little chaps, and I'm looking forward to, well, making a little army of them. There is another video on the screen, guys. It'd be great if you could click on that, see more of what I do. And don't forget, if you can, like, share, subscribe, leave loads of comments down below. I do try and reply to all of them. I certainly do read most of them. Yeah, and I love sort of seeing what you guys, well, think of what I do. Okay guys, you all take care. See you in the next one. Bye for now.